What truly makes us happy? Is it money, fame, love, or is it something else entirely? Welcome to our exploration of happiness, a deeply personal yet universally desired state of being that has intrigued philosophers, psychologists, and ordinary people for centuries. This elusive emotion, often described as a feeling of contentment, joy, or fulfillment, is not only a pleasant state to be in, but it also has profound impacts on our overall well-being and quality of life. Many of us spend our lifetimes in the pursuit of happiness, seeking to unlock its secrets and harness its power. Happiness, however, is not a one-size-fits-all concept. What brings joy to one person may not have the same effect on another. This makes the pursuit of happiness a complex and highly individual journey. Over the years, countless research studies have been conducted to understand this fundamental human desire. From the fields of psychology to sociology, neuroscience, and even economics, experts have delved into the intricacies of happiness with the aim of quantifying the subjective experience. The concept of measuring happiness may seem a bit abstract, but it's far from impossible. Researchers have developed various indices and scales to gauge happiness levels, often relying on self-reported data to capture a snapshot of an individual's emotional state. These tools attempt to provide a tangible means of assessing something inherently intangible, offering us a glimpse into the factors that influence our happiness. In our quest for happiness, we often look to external factors. We chase after wealth, seek recognition, yearn for the perfect relationship, or dream of achieving our ultimate goals. But is that all there is to happiness? Or could there be other, less obvious factors at play? In this exploration, we'll delve deeper into the science of happiness, investigating the various elements that contribute to our sense of well-being. We'll explore the role of genetics, the impact of relationships and social connections, the importance of mindfulness and gratitude, and even the effect of money on our happiness. As it turns out, science has some interesting things to say about what makes us happy. Stay tuned as we delve into the fascinating world of happiness, its complexities, its paradoxes, and its undeniable importance in our lives. Happiness, it seems, is not as elusive as we might think. This intriguing notion comes from renowned psychologist Martin Seligman, who, through extensive research, has proposed a formula for happiness. His formula, expressed as H equals S plus C plus V, is a fascinating approach to understanding our well-being. Delving into this formula, H represents our enduring level of happiness. This is the happiness that we experience consistently, not just fleeting moments of joy, but a sustained sense of well-being. Next, we have S, which stands for our set range. This refers to the genetic and biological factors that influence our happiness. Just as we all have a unique height, eye color, or hair texture, we also have a unique range of happiness that is influenced by our genes. The C in Seligman's formula represents the circumstances of our lives. This includes factors such as our socioeconomic status, our environment, and our health. These circumstances can certainly have a significant impact on our happiness, but as Seligman's research indicates, they aren't the be-all and end-all. Lastly, we have V, which stands for the factors under our voluntary control. These are the choices we make, the attitudes we adopt, the behaviors we engage in. This suggests that we are not just passive recipients of happiness, but active participants in creating it. This formula, as simple as it may seem, carries profound implications. It suggests that while we may not have control over our genetic predispositions or every circumstance in our lives, there is a portion of our happiness that we can influence through our actions, our mindset, and our attitudes. So, in essence, Seligman's happiness formula gives us a roadmap, a guide to understanding the complex construct of happiness. It provides us with a framework to navigate the journey towards greater well-being. So, it appears that our happiness is not just about our circumstances, but also about our outlook and attitude. Would you believe if I told you that your happiness is partly coded in your genes? You might raise an eyebrow or even laugh at the idea, but the science behind it is more fascinating than you might think. It's been a subject of intense research and debate among scientists, psychologists, and even philosophers. How much of our happiness is truly in our control? Let's delve into the world of genetics. Every human being has around 20,000 genes, these tiny segments of DNA that act like an instruction manual for our bodies. But can they really influence something as complex and subjective as our happiness? Well, researchers have been trying to answer this question, and their findings are quite intriguing. One notable study in this field was conducted by Deneuve and his team in 2012. They discovered a significant association between a gene variant and self-reported life satisfaction. This gene variant is related to the release of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that's often called the happy chemical because it contributes to well-being and happiness. But does this mean that if you've inherited this happy gene variant, you're destined to be a cheerful person? Not exactly. Genetics is a complex field, and it's important to remember that genes aren't destiny. They merely set a range, a potential for happiness. Your environment, your experiences, your relationships, and the choices you make all play vital roles in determining how happy you are. Consider this: identical twins who share the same genetic blueprint don't always report the same levels of happiness. This indicates that while genes do influence our happiness, they don't dictate it. So, what's the takeaway from all this? It's quite simple, really. Our happiness isn't just a product of our genes. It's a complex interplay of genetics and environment, nature and nurture, biology and experience. Yes, our genes do play a role in our happiness, but they are not the whole story. The quest for happiness is a journey, and while our genetic makeup might provide the vehicle, it's our experiences and choices that steer us down the road. Ever wondered how your relationships affect your happiness? Well, the science of happiness has delved into this very question. For many years, researchers have been investigating the impact of relationships on our overall well-being, and the results are quite fascinating. Consider this: the Harvard study of adult development, one of the most comprehensive longitudinal studies in history, has been following the lives of individuals for over 8 decades now. Can you imagine that? 80 years of data on happiness, health, work, and yes, relationships. The results are clear. Close relationships, more than money or fame, are what keep people happy throughout their lives. These ties protect people from life's discontents, help to delay mental and physical decline, and are better predictors of long and happy lives than social class, IQ, or even genes. Close relationships don't just mean romantic partners. They also include friendships, family ties, and community connections. These are the bonds that help us feel connected, understood, and appreciated. They provide us with a sense of belonging and purpose, and they offer emotional support during tough times. They give us the strength to face life's challenges, and they bring joy and satisfaction to our daily lives. The importance of these relationships cannot be overstated. They're not just nice to have, they're essential for our happiness and well-being. In fact, loneliness can be as detrimental to our health as smoking or obesity. On the contrary, individuals who maintain strong social connections tend to enjoy better physical and mental health, live longer, and experience higher levels of happiness and satisfaction. So, what does this mean for our pursuit of happiness? It means that nurturing our relationships should be a priority. It means that spending quality time with our loved ones, cultivating friendships, and engaging in our communities can significantly enhance our happiness. It means that our social connections are not just an important part of our lives, but a vital part of our well-being. It seems that our relationships and social connections play a significant role in our happiness. How often do you stop and appreciate the present moment? This is where the concepts of mindfulness and gratitude come into play. Research has shown that these two practices can significantly elevate our levels of happiness. Mindfulness is about being fully present, fully engaged in whatever we're doing at the moment. It's about not being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. We live in a world that's constantly moving, constantly changing. Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts of the past and worries about the future, leaving little room to truly appreciate the present. Mindfulness helps to clear away this mental clutter. It allows us to focus on the here and now, to engage fully with the world around us. Research from Harvard University found that people who practice mindfulness report higher levels of happiness and lower levels of stress. Similarly, gratitude plays a crucial role in our happiness. It's about recognizing and appreciating the good in our lives. It's about taking the time to notice and reflect upon the things we're thankful for. This can be anything from a beautiful sunset to a supportive friend or even a delicious meal. A study from the University of California, Davis found that people who regularly practice gratitude by taking time to recognize and reflect upon the things they're thankful for experience more positive emotions, feel more alive, sleep better, express more compassion and kindness, and even have stronger immune systems. The beauty of mindfulness and gratitude is that they can be practiced anywhere, anytime. It doesn't require any special equipment, just a few moments of your time. So the next time you find yourself rushing through your day, remember to take a moment to be mindful, to appreciate the present, and take a moment to recognize and appreciate the good in your life. Mindfulness and gratitude, it seems, are powerful tools in our happiness toolkit. Does money really buy happiness? It's a question that has echoed through the ages, from the halls of ancient philosophers to modern psychology labs. The answer, as it turns out, is not as simple as a yes or no. Research has been conducted in the field of positive psychology to understand the intricate relationship between money and happiness. A significant study published in the journal Nature Human Behavior reveals an interesting pattern. It shows that money can indeed improve happiness, but only up to a point. According to this study, a yearly income of approximately $75,000 is the threshold at which day-to-day happiness no longer increases with income. But why $75,000? The reasoning is fairly straightforward. Below this income level, more money can alleviate stressors such as struggling to pay for basic needs or feeling financially insecure. Therefore, an increase in income directly translates to an increase in happiness. However, once we cross this threshold, something fascinating happens. The increase in happiness becomes less pronounced. The extra cash no longer brings the same level of joy or satisfaction. This phenomenon is explained by what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. This theory suggests that as a person makes more money, expectations and desires rise in tandem, which results in no permanent gain in happiness. Moreover, it's important to note that money's impact on happiness varies greatly, depending on what it's spent on. Research suggests that spending money on experiences rather than material goods, or using it to help others, can lead to greater happiness. So the relationship between money and happiness is indeed complex. It's not about amassing wealth for its own sake, but rather about achieving a level of financial security that allows us to enjoy life without constant worry. Beyond that point, the pursuit of more money can even become a source of stress and dissatisfaction. So, while money can contribute to our happiness, it certainly isn't everything. Let's recap what we've learned about the science of happiness. This captivating journey has taken us through a variety of factors that influence human well-being, all backed by scientific research. We've explored different aspects of happiness and how each one plays a unique role in shaping our overall sense of joy and contentment. First, we delved into the happiness formula. This intriguing equation shows us that happiness is not simply a product of our circumstances. Rather, it's a mix of our genetic set point, our circumstances, and our intentional activities. Our genetic set point accounts for about 50% of our happiness, underpinning the importance of our biological makeup in our quest for joy. Next, we explored the role of genetics. Our genes provide the blueprint for our personalities, and many studies suggest that they also influence our propensity for happiness. While we can't change our genes, Understanding their impact can help us navigate our path to happiness more effectively. Then, we looked at the impact of relationships and social connections. We're social creatures by nature, and our relationships with others play a crucial role in our happiness. Research shows that strong social connections can lead to higher levels of happiness and well-being. This reminds us to nurture our relationships and seek out social connections to boost our happiness. Our journey then took us to the importance of mindfulness and gratitude. Being present and appreciating the good in our lives can significantly increase our happiness levels. The practice of mindfulness allows us to fully engage with the present moment, while gratitude helps us appreciate the positive aspects of our lives. Lastly, we examined the effect of money on happiness. While it's true that money can alleviate stress and provide opportunities, it's not the surefire key to happiness we often assume it to be. Once our basic needs are met, additional wealth doesn't significantly increase our happiness. It's how we use our money, such as spending it on experiences or giving to others, that can truly enhance our sense of well-being. And there you have it, a brief look into the fascinating world of happiness research. Remember, happiness is not a destination, but a journey, and science is here to guide us along the way.